Welcome to next virtual session on interview experience of my student Adda. This time we have Mr. Devrat Pandey, who got selected in UNO Minda Group in 2019. So welcome, Bhaiya. Now we will head towards the questions. So I would request Aditi to ask some questions.
Okay. So first of all, please describe the number and the level of rounds which you have to face before entering UNOMIT.
There are basically two levels for cracking the interview of the Minder. First is the entrance level, in which we all have to give the online examination, and second is the after selection round, which includes the three sub rounds. First is GD, uh, second is personal interview. Yeah, it's means after cracking the online examination, you have to give only two rounds for the selection. First is GD and second is personal interview. So this is the basic entrance criteria for UNOMINDA.
Okay. And elaborate about these rounds so that students can understand
Okay,
them better.
sure. So the first examination, which is the online examination, is a technical round. It basically consists of the only general aptitude questions, and I think 20 or 30 general aptitude questions, and basically the technical question is a bit harder. A bit harder. The examination begins with the first of all the quantitative portion, and when the quantitative portion ends, second one is the technical portion. The weightage of both the aptitude and the technical are same, so we have give our best to both of the section if we have to get selected for the first round. And after this, after there is a gap between 6 to 7 days when the website when the UNOMINDA declares a result that how many candidates and from which department are selected. And after this overall selection, the second round, which is the general discussion round, is uh, is held. And in that round, they basically give us 5 to 6 topics, which basically belongs to the current scenario or the current ongoing news, and some kind of international issues. Yeah, and basically two or three technological terms, just like that. In our group, they basically give us about the technical topic is IoT. I think so because at the time of our selection, the IoT is a hot topic basically, and Uniminda Group is working much on the IoT implementation. So they ask about us the IoT. So after the general discussion had gone on. I think 20 minutes. I think 20 to 25 minutes. The general discussion goes, and after that, the result had been announced that which are who are the candidate were selected for the final interview.
Tell us
Uh,
about the HR round or the final interview.
yeah, I think if 100% students are giving the examination, then 60% are selected for us. 60% are selected after the written test, means the online examination, and 40% are selected after the general discussion. So 40% students, or 35 to 40 roughly, are here for giving the HR round. So the HR round is a bit quite more difficult as compared to the other companies because they ask you the technical questions as well as the normal questions, both on the same criteria. And on the technical point of view, they are so strict. They goes they elaborate each and every topic that you have studied in your 4 year career. They basically focused on the student final year project. It's because my project is related with the artificial intelligence and neural network. They are much focused and much surprised about my project. So they ask each and every technical aspect that they want to know that they want to know. And I carry on the interview. I carry on the interview with a smooth pace. And then the HR round has been happened. The HR generally asks few of the question that are you comfortable for uh, going to the pan India? Means you are free to means you are uh, okay on our condition that you may be transferred to pan India. Where does we want? I say yes, ma'am. I'm ready to move to pan India. And so yeah, the basic questions are that. And at the last, they give you the privilege to ask. if you have any queries for regarding the company, and okay, this is the final HR round, and after that there goes a panel discussion of I think 1 or 2 hours, and after that they announce the result. So this is the whole process.
Tell us something about Minda. How is it working there?
Okay, Minda is actually is a company which is basically registered by the Minda Industries, which is the car manufacturing company, Maruti Suzuki. We are the tier one suppliers. Who are the tier one suppliers? First of all, I want to clear this. Tier one suppliers means the direct suppliers. All the first of all, I want to tell what we make. All the switches that you see inside a Maruti car or a Hyundai car are produced by the Minda Group. We produce two-wheeler switches, three-wheeler switches, bikes, electric vehicle switches, all kind of switches. Okay, so this is about a single portion. We produce battery, wheel cover, tires, and so on. Means all about near about 80 to 85% accessories that a car use. They have been produced by the Minda Group. It's a vast group. We have 60 plus. Yeah, we have 60 plus industry in India and 10 industries abroad. We have our R&D center at Germany. Is the This is the main business about the Minda Group. And currently, I am working in Mindarika, which is a JVC joint venture collaboration of Minda Group plus the Tokai Rika. It's a Japanese car manufacturing company. So I am working in Mindarika, which is just I say that it is a JVC of Minda Group and Mindarika. We produce ICS, which is the interior control and safety switches. All the interior control and safety switches that we see in the cars, either it is hazard switch, which is always blinking in a triangular sign, or the side power windows button by which you can up and down your car windows, or the AC vents or the volume controllers. These all are manufactured by us. So yeah, this is the whole business about the Minda.
So, any general advice to electrical and electronic students who are preparing for the placement?
Okay. Asking about the general advice. General advice is for triple students are only this, that try to focus to enhance your practical skills. Not go for to prepare only the theoretical subjects for just cracking an interview or just passing your exams. Try to improve your skills. If a person is able to use the MATLAB software or it is able to use ETAP software, which is the basically for power system engineers. And yeah, these softwares and the use of the software are very much pronounced in the industry. And sure, if the person knows how to use it, they will sure get a job because skill is the basic necessity if you want to be earner in the society. So try to focus on not try to focus to earn a degree or to earn a certificate to show the company recruiters. Try to earn the skills. Try to earn the core concept of any subject or the gist of any subject, which help us to you to grow.
So, the next question is how projects helps in placement.
If you are asking about how project help in placement, so don't choose a project just for bragging with in the college or in your friend circle. try to try to capture the project. Try to take a project which is something kind of practical in the society, or by which you are going to learn something. And yeah, project help us in creating a stronger base in the company placement. So try to pick a topic which is industry related, or which is a more practical or pronounced topic that is going in the market. But yeah, before choosing your project, you have to know about your project, how it is been made, and why we are going to choose this.
So now we are moving towards the Q&A session. So I would like to request Arjun to start with the questions.
Yeah, tell us something about the subjects that helped you in cracking this exam, especially the core subjects.
Okay. If you're asking for the core subject that helps me in cracking the examination, so it is the power electronics and power system. Because much of the question are from power electronics and power system. and few of the concept of machines also, DC motors and all, DC motor and generator and all.
Something about how important are these softwares like MATLAB and especially the automation lab? Are they helpful for the placement drives?
These software are very crucial because currently I'm industry and I'm just realizing that yeah, your immediate seniors which are in fourth year. When I'm in fourth year, I take the personal classes of MATLAB and so many of softwares. And currently, most of them are associated with some company, and they they generally say that so it's our pleasure that you have introduced us to this software, so that we are not an alien by knowing the names of the software. So yeah, the softwares are very crucial because all the heavy technical heavy technical processing are done on this software. In MATLAB, ETAP, Multisim, there are so many softwares for an electrical engineer. So basically, you have to know that how the software is useful for your study, your research. MATLAB, MATLAB is a very crucial software. If you have to know the simulations that is going, or there are so many kind of the toolbars or so many kind of as toolboxes are there in the MATLAB. So yeah, try to build your skills on these softwares if you really want to get a good placement in the nearby future because the environment scenario is degrading day by day. So please try to extend the limit. And I'm also explaining that how we are going to learn this software. There's a quote I've go through, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, that education is not free. You have to pay the attention.
Exactly.
Okay, so you have to pay attention for getting your education, and for this you have to. So basically, if I have to suggest you to basically install the Udemy app and get the purchase of the different kind of courses. First of all, the basic MATLAB simulation, power electronic simulation, E-type simulation. Basically, these are courses of 360 and 400 rupees. They're pocket friendly.
Okay, Bia. Now, please tell us something about your project that you have done in your fourth year.
Okay. In the fourth year, I've done a project is based on it's a health monitoring system. It basically used for the prediction of the cardiovascular diseases with the help of the neural network. Our team constructed a neural network model with the help of the different data of the real patient who are suffering from the cardiovascular diseases. So the cardiovascular diseases are like the obesity, the heart disease problem, all the problems that are related to the heart, which are being developed by the high amount of cholesterol in the body or the different unhealthy habits, just like smoking, drinking. So our software generally accept uh, what we do is we use a heart monitoring system, which is a ECG machine, and we place on the patient body. And after recording the raw data of the ECG body of a person, we filter it from the fast Fourier transform. What we have done, we have just captured the ECG by the ECG module of Arduino, and after that, by using the fast Fourier transform, I can filter out the unwanted frequency, and that the wanted frequency or the useful frequency we give it to the MATLAB, and that it process and give us the output that yeah, this person is suffering from CVD or not, means cardiovascular diseases or not.
You is that can an electrical student can make a project something related to IT field, or is it mandatory to make
No.
any project related to electrical only?
Okay. First of all, if you are asking that interdisciplinary project can be done, so yeah, it is never mentioned that yeah you are prohibited to choose a project which is sound like IT project. No, a project is a project. A project is a project. It is not classified on the basis of the stream. When we move to
Okay,
industry, an IT project can be combined with all the other multidisciplinary fields. So yeah, project is a project. It is not it is not basic or mandatory point that yeah, you are an electrical student, you cannot do the IT project or you cannot do the civil project. Yeah, but yeah, the project that you are using that you are indulged is basically you have the whole grasp knowledge of that topic. If you are on a project, you know that what what is the main purpose of doing this project. What are the learnings of this project for me? Just
Exactly.
these two. You have to be fully confident about your project. Anytime, anywhere, if anyone is going to ask that, uh, yeah, this is your project. Can you tell about your project? You can fluently tell about your project, your findings, your learnings. This is the meaning. This is the basic gist of using choosing a project.
So,
Okay, Bia. Thanks a lot.
so
Mhm.
thank you, Arjun, and thank you very much, Bhaiya,
Thank you, Bhi.
for
Mhm.
giving us your precious time and becoming our part of the session. So thank you all. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe, like, and share this
My
video.
pleasure. My pleasure.